All right, you guys, so let's actually go in and look at your responses. Let me refresh it, and then we're going to talk about this. So we will check it out. Okay, so, all right, you guys, so Emma went in, Jasmine went in, Alicia went in. Good. So you guys make sure, even though we're talking about it, that you go in and you respond to somebody else's. So kind of going through here, it looks like, initially you guys are saying it would be worthwhile to work at store B. Jasmine and Emma both said that. You guys really initially didn't consider, or you mean it wouldn't be worthwhile, sorry. You didn't really consider store A. Donovan says, I don't think it's worthwhile to work at store B also, in case you don't do well, right? And I know Alicia and Donovan both said it depends on what your job is, like what you're selling. And then Elliot is saying if you got, I think what Elliot you meant is $20 of sales every day is what you were thinking maybe?
Yeah, I didn't really know what I was saying.
That's okay. And then Jasmine is saying if you made $1,000 in sales every day, then she's saying you can make $180 in sales. So she thought maybe that's true. Plus the $10 she's saying, so then you would make more. And then Elliot agrees because you could make more money. Alicia says that's how I was viewing it. Or no, that's Emma's responding to Alicia. They pay 3 times more than store B, but if they sold stuff like furniture, then maybe you could make a lot more money. So you guys are kind of thinking about extra variables in there, like what you're selling and things like that. So good, Jasmine. Alicia's agreed. Okay, so good, you guys. So let's actually analyze this. I really like your guys' responses. You tried really hard, and I know, like I said, this can be a little bit confusing at times. But let's check it out. Okay, so here's the situation, right? So I know some of you guys are already into systems of equations. Like Tanya, I know you're in there. Emma, I can't remember if you're on that yet. Have you done systems of equations? No. Okay, that's like the current week. Are you in the current week yet? Mm-hmm. Or last week. Last week. I think we started last week. Okay, that's okay. So so systems of equations was last week. So I don't know if you were caught to that point. I think you started maybe, I don't know. But anyway, we were working on systems of equations. So you guys, what we really have here are 2 scenarios. Anytime you have 2 scenarios, you want to think to yourself systems of equations. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to set this up and help you guys set it up as a systems of equations. Okay. So we first need to define some variables. So what I mean by that is we need like an x and a y, or I'm going to call this t and s, and we need to figure out what these mean. So t is going to be our total cost, okay? So that's or not total cost, total income, right? Total income, because we are trying to figure out which job to take. So we're going to say that t is our total income from either job A or job B. And then s is going to be our total sales, right, in dollars, total sales. So is everyone clear what I've just set up so far? Okay, so all I did is define some variables. So whenever you get a systems of equations that's contextual like this, where you have a situation and you're trying to analyze it, you always want to create variables. And I did T and S. You guys could do X and Y, totally fine too. This just helps me to identify things better. So let's do store A first. So store A, we're going to make an equation. Okay, so for store A. Okay, so I'm going to have my total sales. All right, you guys, so what would I put in here? How would I figure out my total sales? What would I need to do? And you guys can type it. Okay, Donovan, awesome, good. I think I saw your second post too. So you guys, yeah, make sure you're back in the webinar. And then if you want to put it in the chat box, or if you're sitting here, you guys can tell me what kind of an equation, what would I need to put over here to figure out my total sales in store A? I'm just going to do 1 day's worth. How about that? We'll make it simple. 1 day's worth. Like, how am I going to calculate how much money I'm going to make for 1 day in store A? So we're just doing 1 day. That'll make it simpler for us. 1 day.
So you need to know like how much the commission is in order to know how much you're going to make that day.
10%.
Well, I know that.
Oh, we're doing store A.
Well, like, don't you need to know how much it like came in to like how much commission you need?
Yeah, I will eventually.
Okay.
but let's just say I don't know it yet, right? So for sure I'm going to get how much for one day?
X divided by 10% plus 35.
Okay, so I heard the plus 35, so what did you say first, Jasmine?
X divided by 10% plus 35. Because the sales divided by the 10%, which is commission. X would be the sales,
Okay, or S?
or X, and then divided by 10%, which is the commission that they make, plus $35 now.
So you're really close. The only thing is, so say you had total sales of $20. How much would you make in commission?
Are we still on the 10%?
Mm-hmm.
We're
10% of $20.
Oh, sorry, no, sorry, I was
$2. So you guys multiplied, right? Because you did 0.1 times $20. So you just said division the first time, is that Jasmine? But you're exactly on the right track. So you're going to multiply. So 0.10, that's your 10%, right? Times your total sales. Plus, you guys know you're going to get $35 no matter what, right? Even if you make 0 in sales, right? So that is our equation for A. So let's do the same kind of thing for B then, you guys. So in store B, our total sales are going to be equal to, this time we're going to make 0.18, right? Plus, what are we making, $10 a day or something like that? So we have these two equations. So what I would want to do then is to graph them, okay? But look, it's going to be hard to graph with these decimals. So what I can do is I can multiply, actually, no, we'll just go ahead and leave it. We'll look and see what it looks like. So let's start our first equation. So we've got what, 0.10 x plus 35. So we'll do it like that. Oh wait, let's find my equation. 0.10x plus 35. So I'm going to use y and x in here, but let's say y equals 0.10x plus 35. And then our second equation was 0.18, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then was it plus 10? Okay. So I can't see these right now, but I can pull this down. Pull down, pull down. Oops, I'm not pulling it down anymore. Okay, so here's our two lines, right? Are they getting closer and closer together?
Yeah.
So at some point, and then, so you guys remember that my x-axis is sales, right? So I'm just scrolling to the right, I'm scrolling to the right, I'm scrolling to the right, and then personnel. So at some point, these lines cross, right? So what does that mean if my x is my total sales and my y is my total income? What is happening right here where they meet?
Eventually, almost the same like
Exactly, exactly. So after a certain dollar amount in sales in one day, it switches which company is better to work for, right? So let me see if I can like zoom out for you guys to see the whole thing better. Oh, wait, there. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit more. All right, so can you guys all see that okay? Let me zoom in a little bit more even. So the hard part about when you see something like that is it's hard to be like, what should I do? What's the best number? And we can kind of guess and plug in numbers. But if we can make an equation and graph it, then you guys can figure out, wow, okay, so if I sold this many dollars of sales at this company, I could make this much versus this other company, right? So let me ask you guys this. What if you're only going to sell $100 in sales in the first day, and our blue line is company B, right? And our red line is company A. So which company would you rather work for if you only could sell $100 in sales every day?
Oh, okay.
The blue, how about this, the blue line or the red line?
Which one is which?
Did you guys say A? You guys said
Yeah.
A, right? Yeah, yeah, okay, red is A, yeah.
Again.
I'm getting confused too. Okay, so the red line is company A, and you're right, because look, you guys would make like 50 bucks, right? You would make 50 bucks versus company B, you would only make whatever that is, less than 50 bucks, right? Okay, but let's just look. What if you guys, you knew you were going to sell $500 in sales every day? Which company would you rather work for?
B.
B, because look how much you're going to make. You're going to make $100 versus company A, which if you come down here somewhere, you're going to, anyway, make less than $100, right? You're going to make 60, 70, 80, between 80 and 90 or something like that. So it's after approximately how many sales will you make exactly the same in both of them? Like how many dollars?
Like 320, like 320.
Yeah, like 320-ish, somewhere between 310 and 320 maybe, right about here. So so that's your price point, right? That's kind of your break even. At that point, you're going to make the same. And then if you look at over here, you can see how much you're going to make. So somewhere around 70 bucks or 60, between 60 and 70. All right, you guys. So anyway, I don't want to go into it too much, but this is the benefit of having systems of equations and why you guys are going to learn how to solve them. Because you can solve this to figure out what that break-even point is, that point of intersection, right? At what's that? In a graph. You can do it graphically, and you guys are going to learn that. You also can do it algebraically too. But if you can set up problems like this into equations, then it can help you make better decisions and stuff. All right, good, guys. Very good. Any questions? Any questions? Those are all good? Tanya, A, B, good. Okay, good. Sorry, Tanya, I didn't see yours until. And then you even got it set up for me. Very nice. Sorry, I didn't look over there. Okay, so you guys, today we're going to kind of pick up where we left off last time. We'll solve some absolute value equations. And then going along with the systems of equations, we'll try to, I don't think we'll probably get to both of them just because of time, but we'll try to build and analyze a system of equations to solve some problems. And then I just wanted to talk to you guys about what to do during fall break. And do you guys all know that we have fall break? It's next week.
Wait, so starting Monday next week?
Uh-huh. So I was like, thank goodness. It's a whole week. So you won't get any new assignments from any of your teachers. So, but let me ask you guys this question, very important question. Should you just stay in bed the whole entire time and do nothing?
No, I'm going to make up all the weeks of work that I'm.
Oh, very good, Emma, very good. But you're going to get made up fast. So Emma's sad because she knows she's going to have to make up work. And so you guys, it's a great opportunity because you can wake up in the morning, you can have a coffee, you can do a little work, and you can go back to bed, have a nap, and then you can get up later, have a little lunch, do a little work, you know.
I do on a normal day.
Yeah, see, that's good. See, that's already got figured out. So yeah, you guys, so on the fall break, really work on trying to catch up so that when you come back, you're ahead, because here's what's going to happen, you guys. Fall break, right, is next week. So that's going to take us into like first week in November, and then there's only like a few more weeks, and then it's Thanksgiving break, and isn't that a week too? I think that's like a week or something. And then you guys are going to come back from that, and you're only going to have a few weeks, and then it's going to be the Christmas break, right? The whole
like 2 weeks.
Yeah, not that long. And then you guys, you know what that means? That means end of quarter. Right, Ashley? Yes. Talked about this. So if you get to the end of the quarter and you're way behind, it's not going to be good. So definitely use this to your advantage, you guys. Use it to your advantage. Okay. Tanya, that's why. Oh, yes. Do everything before you go on break. Good. And yes, on some subjects, this is true. But yeah, you guys, very smart. Do it all before you go on break. Do it all by this Friday, and you won't have anything to do with the break. That is a good point. Very good point. Okay. So you guys, let's actually look at this, solving absolute value equations, and I just want to show you guys this. Some of you guys have already done these, and some of you guys did really well, but others, we need to work a little bit on it. So with these, every time you solve an absolute value equation, you always want to think that you need to make two equations, right? And the way you do that is you always first have to isolate the absolute value. So you always want to think, the very first thing in your head is to isolate the absolute value marks. Okay. How do you what? Oh, in there? Is it not plugged in? Here, take mine. Because mine was working, but I'm already charged. So like switch it to the other plug, I think you can. So I think it might just be that one. Otherwise, if it's not, is that your cord? Mm-hmm. Oh, then it should work. Is it working? Yeah. Okay, good. So one bad plug in there. Okay, so you want to isolate the absolute value bars before you break it into two equations. Okay. So in this first case, you guys, what do I need to do to isolate the x minus 5? Exactly. Get rid of the 2. Say that again. I'm like deaf with this thing on. I'm sorry, Jasmine, we're talking about it.
2x minus 10.
So you don't really want to distribute it in because anything in the absolute value is a different operation than the 2. So don't try not to distribute that in. I mean, you could do that, but it ends up doing weird stuff. So eventually later. That's true, Donovan, that's true. So what you want to do is you want to get rid of the 2. So divide everything by 2 first. So then you get a new equation that's x minus 5. And that is equal to 6. So once you have that, now you can break it into 2 separate equations. And in all reality, and it's kind of like what Jasmine's saying, you can do things, but I'm just going to tell you the simplest way. That way, later if you get a harder thing, it doesn't mess up. So you could either put the negative on the left side or the right side, but if you put it on the left, you have to do a distributive thing like what you were doing, and people mess that up. So I always add the negative to the right side. So what you do is you have one equation that's x minus 5 equals 6, and then you have a second equation that's going to be x minus 5 equals negative 6. And it's just simpler, and you won't make so many mistakes. So all you're going to do is solve. So you guys know that you're going to add 5 to each side, and you're going to get x equals 11. And then you're going to add 5 to each side on this one too. Okay, and then on this one you're going to get x equals negative 1. Okay, so that's generally how you solve absolute value equations. So the key up here is isolate the absolute value bars before you break it into anything. Okay, so on the second one, do we need to isolate the absolute value bars, or are they already isolated? Alrighty, good. So Donovan and Jasmine, good. They're already isolated. So I can already break this into 2 separate equations. So again, you guys, I'm going to make my negative be on the right side. It's just a lot easier, okay? And always think when you have absolute value that you're going to always have 2 solutions. So these are, you're just going to solve like normal, right? You would subtract 1 from each side, okay? And you would get 4x equals 14. Then you would divide by 4. Okay, 4 divided by 4 is 1, or 1x. And then I'm going to reduce the 14 over 4. Sorry. 2 goes into 14 7, and 2 goes into 4 2 times. You get 7 halves. Okay, and then we can solve our other equation. And we get 4x equals negative 16. Oops. Okay. And then we divide both sides by 4. 4 divided by 4 is just 1, or 1x. And negative 16 divided by 4 is negative 4. So those become our 2 answers.
How did you get the 7 and the 2 at the right end?
Oh, good question. So what I did is I just reduced the 14 over 4. So I divided the top and the bottom by 2. Like that. Okay, so I did 14 divided by 2, 7, and 4 divided by 2 is 2. Good question. So Donovan, you have to break it up into 2 equations because you have to consider that your answers, that you're going to have one on the right side and one on the left side. If you remember that your absolute value makes a V, you know, you've got your graph here. Oh, not a very good graph. And you've got lines coming up here, and you've got lines coming up here, right? So if I give you, say, for example, a y value of, and I'm just arbitrarily drawing this, a y value, we'll say that y value is 2, you're going to have 2 answers, right? You're going to have some number here, which that could be positive 3, and you're going to have some number here, which could be negative 3. So for every y value, you're going to end up with 2 different x values. So you have to consider both the negative side and the positive side. And so that's what we're doing here, is we're turning this into a negative so that we can get to 2 sides of this. We can get both legs, and that's why. It's like watching the magic happen. It is magical. All right, so Donovan, are you good now? Okay, does that make sense? Perfect. All right, you guys, so let's actually go forward then. And let's do a little analyzation for our systems of equations. So remember, this is like what we did in the beginning with our discussion, and you guys posted your discussions, which, by the way, don't forget, if you didn't finish responding to somebody else's, make sure you go back in before we end, okay? because I know that a couple of you guys were in the process and we went ahead and moved forward. Okay, so let's look at this problem. Suppose you were trying to decide which kickboxing studio to join. So you guys go ahead real quick in your student notepads and type your name. So type your name. Put your name. Very good, Emily, good. And I think 1, 2, there's not enough for everybody, but, oh wait, maybe 7. There's also a notepad right underneath my name, just so you guys, it's a little tiny one, but it works too. So I know there's not, I think somebody's going to be out one, but whoever is out one, you guys can use the chat. So, who didn't get one? Do you guys see the one underneath my picture? There's a student 6 up there. You guys see that up there? So Donovan, I don't think you have one, but you can either be the chat or you can be the one underneath my name. Which one do you want, Donovan? Emma, you're good. Emily, Tanya. Oh. All right, so who is missing? So Donovan, Elliot, do you have one?
Yep.
Emily, anyone who doesn't have one? Emily, you're good. Jasmine, Tanya. All right, so Donovan, I think it's just you, but oh, Alicia, you don't have one either. Who's? I don't know. I thought that was you. Jasmine. Yeah, that's true. You wouldn't be. Oh, yeah, and you're already on there. I don't know. Who's J.E.? Okay, so Alicia, you're typing in the chat box. So Donovan, choose either this one up here, student 6 underneath my, not the one down in the far right corner, but the one under my picture. Or I don't know who J.E. is. So that could be you, actually. I don't know. All right, you guys. So here's the situation, right? So we once again, we have Studio A and Studio B. So this is like job A, job B. Okay, so in Studio A, they're going to charge you $50 up front and then $1 per month. So you're trying to figure out which, you guys are going to take kickboxing now, okay? You guys all ready? Kickboxing? You're going to be super kickboxers. You got to figure out which one you want to join. So Studio A is going to charge $50 up front and then $1 per month. And Studio B, all they're going to do is charge you $6 per month, so nothing up front. All right, you guys, in your notepads, you don't have to do any math if you don't want. It could just be first impulse. Which studio would you join, A or B? And then tell me why, what's going through your mind. What's going on out there? All right, you guys are quick. Very good. All right, Alicia. Where's your typing?
Oh, because.
Oh, yes, because. Elliot, see, there's always a because. I know, it's that, notorious because. And Donovan, are you taking that 6-1 up there? Okay, so what do we got here? Alicia's typing. Emily is done. Emma, you just left off. I would choose studio. Are you thinking?
Yeah.
Oh, very good. I like that. Thinking is good. Alicia, I thought you were typing. And Elliot, okay, A, okay, good. Jasmine. Ah, Jasmine, you are deep thoughts. Very good. Tanya. Okay, very nice. J.E. is the anonymous person. We don't know. Donovan, you could be student 1, actually, because I don't know who J.E. is. Because Jasmine already has one. But Donovan. A would be, okay, so here's what we said, right? So Alicia's A, because it would be less for 6 months, so it would only be 56. So Emily is B. Emily, why? Why are you saying B? It could be right, but why? You have to have a good reason. Okay. And Emma is still thinking. Elliot, A, because eventually you'll end up spending a lot more than B. Good logic, good logic. And then Jasmine says A, because I would be there long term, and B would be cheaper as a short person. Or short term, I mean, not short person. If you're a short person, you're not a short person, so it wouldn't make sense. And then Tanya, A, because you only pay $1 per month, and 6 would eventually add up to 50. All right. So you guys, awesome reasoning. So you each are going to choose not always the same. I like that you guys chose different ones too, and you have good reasoning as to why, because it doesn't. Alicia, A would be less for 6 months. Oh, but then you messed up. Okay. And Donovan, I'm thinking something happened to your connection or something. And then Emma, you're on B because it would take about 2 years for Studio B to be cheaper. Is that why? Oh, you meant A because,
Studio
oh,
A to be cheaper than Studio B. And you're only running for 6 months, so $6 times 6 months is $36. Which is just cheaper than $50 for 1 month.
very good. So you guys are, some of you are already answering like question 2. Okay, very nice. So yeah, so you guys have really good logic. You have good reason as to why you want it. Isn't this easier than the first one now?
Yeah.
See how that works? See, you like stress a little and then it becomes easier. All right, so awesome logic, you guys. So if you were to put any of that on a test, you would be fine because you can justify why you would, right? Because each of you are, some of you are saying, well, because if you only go 6 months, but some of you, like Jasmine's saying, but if you go long term, then A would be better. So, or B would be better, or whichever one. And so that's awesome logic, you guys. So here's then your last challenge. Number 3. See if you guys can write equations to represent these choices. Okay, so you're going to have 2 equations, we know that, and you guys can use x and y if you want. But just do your best, and if your equation's all messed up, it's okay, because this is the hardest part sometimes of systems of equations is how do I write an equation to represent this. So kind of the hint is it's usually always going to be y equals something, or else it's going to be something x plus something y equals a total. But your equations will always have one x, one y, and a number all by itself is how it's going to be usually, or something that you're looking for. But just kind of do your best. So Elliot, off to a good start.
Is that good?
Actually looks really good. Yeah, that's very good. It's close. Think about it a little bit, but it looks really good. Very good start. And Tanya, nice. Very nice. Jasmine is in process. JE is anonymous. All right, Emily, what do you think? And Alicia, for 6 months, the studio would, so Alicia, you went and calculated the first time. Very good. So, good, good. Take a little bit more time. Ashley, where's yours? All right, Alicia, y equals 6, maybe. Sorry. Don't be sorry, it's okay. Doing good. Okay. So we're going to analyze why Alicia finishes. Emily, you have 1. Good, good. See if you can do the second one too. You've got, or I mean, you have Studio B done. See if you can do Studio A. All right, so it looks to me like you guys have some really good equations in here. Really, really good. Oh, Emma, hang on, let me see. I can't see what your second one is. Down. There it is. Okay. So if you look, so Tanya, you are right on. So it's $1 per month. So X is your months plus $50 to join, and you just pay that once. And then the other one is just $6 per month. So perfect. So Jasmine, you are right on too, except for that you have X plus 6. So in your case, Jasmine, if you think about what you have that it's going to be $1 a month plus the $6. Oh, I see you changing it really fast. Yeah, I didn't even, what was that? What was there? No, but you did a really good job because you had the 1x plus 50, and then you had the right idea with the 6 and the x. But good. And then Elliot, nice job. What did you have before?
0x plus 6.
Okay, so you were kind of doing. The only thing is the 6. If you did 0x plus 6, you would only pay the 6 once instead of the $6 a month. But you figured it out too, so good. And Emma, nice job. And then wait, who is this one? Yeah, that was Emma's. Yeah, so good. You're perfect. Emily, good. And then Alicia, you got the IDK yet, but then you got the 6x. Okay, good. So you guys are getting it figured out. This is like a total huge improvement from our first discussion. So it's perfect, you guys, perfect. So what I want to show you guys now that you mastered that was so awesome of you guys. Here's your 2 equations, right? So look, I graphed them for you. Okay. All right, you guys, so look at this graph if you can see it. I know maybe it's kind of small and it's hard to see, but this is a 20 down here, and this is a 60 up here. So these go by 20s, 20, 40, 60, 80, and the same thing with the bottom. So,
Which one is the blue one?
So that is a good question, actually. So that was a good question. Which one is the blue one? So yeah, so let me actually ask that. So this first equation was A, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was A. and the second one was B. So you guys, is the blue one A or B?
B.
B, good. And then the red one has to be A. Good job. Right?
I would go for B because you get paid for. Well, I guess you should go for B.
So and it depends on how much time, right? So your x-axis represents what is our x-axis, you guys? What's on the x-axis?
Days.
Time, good. And it was months, but yeah, Elliot, you got the right idea. So this is time, and this is and it's represented in months, right? We said months, but yeah, could be hopefully not days. We would be broke. And then what's on our y-axis then? What do these numbers represent?
Money or whatever.
Perfect. Yeah, that's perfect. Dollars, right? That's what we're spending. So if I was going to be working out in the gym for 24 months, should I sign up for membership B or A?
For how many months?
24 months.
B.
B, exactly, because here's 30 right here, right? So this is like 25-ish right here. So it'd be right around, oh wait, did you guys say B?
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh yeah, A. I meant A.
are you confused on that, Emily, you said?
No,
Okay.
I said
Oh, Emma, you're confused. So you guys, sounds like a couple of you guys are. So let's actually look, let's do this. So say you were going to be in the gym for 10 months, which is right here, right? So if you go up, oh, are they going to cost the same?
Yeah.
Yeah, and what are they going to cost? $60, exactly. If, on the other hand, I was going to be in the gym, we'll just go here, we'll just go up a little more. Say I was going to stay there a little bit longer, I decided, 15 months. Right, so if I go up, how much is gym A going to cost me?
Like 65.
Okay. What is that? That's
85.
or 90.
Yeah, I would go with A if I'm gonna stay there for more than 10 months.
Good. So yeah, so you guys can kind of see by graphing that, hey, you know what, gym A after 15 months is only going to cost me 65 right here, whereas gym B is going to cost me 90. I think I'll stay with gym A. But if you were only going to do 6 months, like the problem was asking, right, it's somewhere right about here. Which gym would you guys join?
B.
B. Right? It's a lot cheaper over here at whatever that is, 36 or 37, compared to this one, which is going to be like 56 or something like that. So graphing is totally awesome. If we wanted to do it algebraically and we knew we were going to be there for 6 months, where would I plug this 6 in? Right there?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So you plug it in here and it will tell you exactly 6 times 1 is 6.
Which 50 is 56.
Exactly.
6 times 6 is
36. Yep. So if you plug a 6 in there, then it would cost you 36. And we already figured out from the graph that 6 months B is better anyway. So with systems of equations, you guys, really easy to graph them. That's just one way. The only thing that's difficult, and you guys were kind of finding it, is it's hard to estimate, like, well, where is that point on this graph? You know, it's a little bit difficult to figure out. But you guys did a really good job with that. So any questions on looking at that? We'll probably do the next one next time just to spread that a little bit. How do you guys feel? Better? So at least you guys are getting better about building the equations and then putting them in. So nice job, everybody. Any questions at all before we go? No? No? Okay, we can do it later. All right, you guys, thanks for coming. I appreciate you joining. That's awesome. You guys did a great job, and we'll see you in 2 weeks, actually.